I welcome you guys back into my beautiful video here. I will say that today's topic is how to be on the road. I will say, guys, that no matter what, I've been traveling Australia now for 1 year. I left in 2019 on the July 4th. I now am in the July 5th of 2020. You have to understand, no matter what, that I'm only in this moment. You have to understand that every single date that you see in life, whether it be 2020, 3000, 320 in the year, you have to understand that it's only this moment. You have to understand that time is this moment. You have to understand when you ask, what is the time? You have to understand when you ask, what is the time? You have to realize that the time is now. You have to realize that you need to be a person who also recognizes that when you ask questions such as, what is your age? You have to realize that your age is always number one or this moment. You have to be in a state of a baby. You have to be a person who's a baby throughout life. I mean, you grew up, you're still going to grow up. I promise you in 10 years, you'll still be growing up. You must be a person who's aging well in a way that you're aging to be a baby who is younger than before. I promise you that a person who ages better than yesterday is a person who has the tools required to really lift themselves. You need to realize that you need to lift yourself in a way that you never ever concern yourself. You never concern yourself on the road and with people and with money and with material possessions. You understand why. You understand because when you are a person who's productive on the road and with people, you can communicate, you can look good, you can have clear skin, you can be vegan, and you have the habits you need in order for yourself to produce a nice, beautiful quality video. You have to understand, you'll be giving value, you'll also be in compassion, you'll be kind while you're in compassion. You'll understand that the compassion that you give is kindness. You have to understand that you have to be a more kind person in order to grow. You have to understand that's the only way to be. You have to understand that throughout life, you need to be inspired. I need you to wake up every single day and be inspired by yourself. I mean, when you see the number one inspiration I promise you, when you see the number one inspiration of your life, your inspiration must be Jesus Christ. You understand? I promise you, although, that many people will vouch against this. I promise you, though, that anyway, you make yourself your greatest aspect of life. You will understand that I put Jesus number one in my life. I put God and something above me number one. I promise, I believe something is up there. I promise you that I believe in something greater than this world. I believe that there is eternity. I believe that once I pass away, I realize that I will never pass away. I will just be lifted into a new world. I promise you, I believe in that. I don't know about you. I although believe in something greater. I promise you, although, you can also believe in yourself. You can be a person who believes in yourself when you don't believe in the higher power. I promise you, although, when you are number one in your life, in this matter, you will also be lifted. You will start growing. You'll find the tools you need to succeed. You'll find what you need in order for yourself to lift. You have to understand that I spoke to Les Brown today. I promise you, although, I woke up and in the first 15 minutes, I seen an email. I was watching Lewis Howes and Les Brown the day before. I sent Les Brown an email because I've seen that Les Brown is overweight. I just posted recently inside my Instagram, I posted a nice, beautiful rain check to make sure no matter what, that everybody has a life coach at hand to become a vegan, and also the guidelines in nutrition in how I lost weight over 30 months. You have to understand, no matter what, that I've lost weight and I have results, and I show people everything they need in this one beautiful application that I made. I need you to understand that the application I made is just a PDF. I promise you, although, it's a guideline in how to lose weight. I promise you, although, you'll see what I eat, you'll see also everything you need in terms of where the foods are and what you must be eating on a daily basis and what you must be doing. You have to understand now, I sent that nice, beautiful PDF because I woke up and within 15 minutes, I never knew. I seen Les Brown and his email. I said, wow. I see him saying, I need you to call me. I say, no worries. I called him on WhatsApp. I realized that he gave me his number. I realized no matter what, when you're calling overseas, you have to understand that it's time to be on the road. You have to understand no matter what, you think smart. You go smart. You have to understand you never think, you just go smart. You just do smart. You do it inside of your electronic phone. You have a journal. You write it all down. You understand? I used to look at Jim Rohn. I still do. I realize that Jim Rohn says, write it to paper. I just say, write it in your electronic phone now. You have to understand your phone is a Pokedex. Have you watched Pokemon? You have to understand no matter what, I have two Pokedexes. I have two Pokedexes. I have also a nice beautiful other one, which is my laptop. I have technology to back up my work. I mean, I never care about the technology. I care about what the technology does in order for me to be more in life. I realize no matter what, that my phones and laptop has the power to do music, which is music production. I can make music. I never care about how much the laptop is. I need to make music. I mean, I need nice, beautiful systems in order for myself to lift. I can also make these beautiful videos in high megapixel cameras, and I can do branding photos. I have tools and technology. I have headphones. I have these headphones, never because of the headphones. I never fucking care about the headphones. I care about the music that I hear from the headphones. I care about the quality. I care about when I put them on, that it never hurts me. I realize I can sleep with them. I realize no matter what, that they have long battery. I realize they have a long battery hour, which is over 30 hours of listening to music. I realize that it charges in 2 hours. You have to understand that's effective. You have to understand I have the Sennheiser ones. I have the Sennheiser ones. I realize it's $200. You go and get one. You have to understand that when you are listening to music, you listen to music like a music producer. You go and get the best headphones. I mean, you need headphones that are really balanced. You need quality sound. You never need bass boost. You never need high pitch sound. You never need low bass boost and low sounds. You need balance. You just need high and low. You just need a nice radio sound in your headphones. You can get them with Sennheiser. You can also get them with any other ones. I got myself the Sennheiser ones because I'm a vegan. I realized that no matter what, you vegans out there, you have a nice beautiful Sennheiser one for $200 for Jesus Christ and something above you. You realize no matter what, you're never doing it for the money. You have to realize that when you're doing it for the money, you lose. You never say for the money. You go for the money, for God. You understand? I say it always this way, so I never get confused about money. You have to understand that I never care about money. I care about God. I do God's work. I do everything I can in order for myself to succeed, which is why I made this video. You have to understand you guys have Sennheiser headphones that have vegan cushions. I love that. You have to understand that most headphones out there have leather. You have to understand that no matter what, you need to be a person who's really productive. You need to realize that technology is a really, really big deal for you entrepreneurs out there. You have to understand no matter what, that you really do it for something above and that you state it. You have to understand I state this for something above. You have to understand that you never get confused about what you're doing. You need to realize that you need to look good. You need to brand yourself. You need to get the attention. I realize now, since I have the lifestyle, I have the finances, I have the time freedom, I have travels, I can travel, I have no 9 to 5, which is excellent. I have the looks, I have the skin, I have everything I ever need, although I need to grow. You have to realize no matter what, I still need more. I need to be able to increase my attention now. What am I doing today? You have to understand that no matter what, you need to be a person who's increasing your attention span in life. You have to understand your attention span is the equity you put in to others finding out about you. I mean, you have to build a branding awareness now. I promise you, although, that branding awareness has everything to do with marketing. You have to understand, though, that branding alone is just got to do with you. I mean, when you brand, you're just doing you. I mean, branding awareness, though, you need to go and now be in front of people's faces. I am doing anything I can in order for myself to do that. I just went on Snapchat. I posted one photo to 1,500 people. I, no matter what, will say that it's around that. I will say no matter what that you see this. You will be limited on Snapchat now to post anything more. You have to understand that you can only have 1,500 friends on Snapchat. What did I do? I just swipe, post a photo, swipe, post a photo, swipe, post a photo. I posted a photo to as many people as I could on Snapchat. I get some replies. You're a stupid idiot. You're a lanky bastard. You're a white motherfucker. Your quotes are shit. What is this? You fucking lad cunt. I get these immature people just really, really angry and violent, and I never reply to them. You have to understand that it's a tactic. You have to understand that you reject those people, that you never reply to violence, you never reply to hate. I did, however, from all those people, I got one woman who said, you inspire me, with a love heart. I also raised. I love this woman because she is inspired by me. I love people who are inspired by me. I promise you, when you're inspired by people, you will lift those people up too. You're doing something kind in a validation type of way where you just get inspired by people. You must be inspired by everybody around you. You must realize though that you get inspired by what's really inspirational though. You, although when you see what's never inspirational, you go your own way, you just never react negatively. You have to understand that these people who wrote negative comments, you have to understand that they are negative and react negative and violent towards the people around them also. I never judge them. I know nothing. I realize no matter what, I still grow. I never care about them. I just move on. You have to realize though that I sent them a photo and I sent them my Instagram. I realize that they have me in mind. I realize in 10 years time, you will understand that they will visit me again. I realize no matter what, I'm still growing. You understand that they may be falling. You may be understanding now that they may be rising in 5 years time. You may be a person, no matter what, you will understand that they can eventually say that you inspired me, although I was very negative on you. I mean, they can say this in 20 years time. I don't care. I built branding awareness. I sent them a photo. I never fucking care about what they say. I realized that I got into their head. I mean, they replied. I mean, they're real people. I realized that whatever they said is wah, wah, wah. I realized, no, I don't care. I don't care. I realized that they've seen me. I realized now, for the next 2-3 years, they may go down. You don't know. You will eventually see that if they're still going down, I promise you that they will have you in mind. Although they won't promote you as much. I promise you, although, that they will in a negative way. You have to understand though, that you just be in front of people's faces. I mean, you go and you have to realize, I went to Officeworks today, which is a nice printing company where you can get all your textbooks and exercise books and pens and computers and iPads and phones, and you can go and print photos and you can do anything with video and portrait and that type of stuff. I have it in Australia here. You can search up Officeworks. I went there. I got myself 100 photos of myself. I went inside Canva. I realized I love Canva. I always do it for free. I always do it for free because it's for free. You have to understand, no matter what, I went into Instagram story. And I made a nice, beautiful photo of myself doing these ones. I posted it in the middle of the photo. I said at the bottom, at Danny Milivojevic Instagram, I at the top said, you must see that if you're inspired by my Instagram, you must share me around with 10 people. I just said that. I realized I did cut it short. I realized it's a really short message. I'd never said it that way. I said it in a different manner now. I said, you must realize that if you're inspired, you share me around with 10 people. You go see my Instagram. I got some blue tack. I realized I was sitting down at the bus stop and I was really motivated. I went into Officeworks. I got blue tack. I have a nice box that has 100 of my photos, which is just one photo. I just put one photo for 100 and I go and post it now, and I will now advertise. I started to go and I went to the bus stop. I did some blue tack at the back of the photo. I plugged it onto the window screen of the bus stop where they sit. I then went to a pole I put it there too. I went in the center of Brisbane Town Mall. I went here, 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 and here. You have to understand, I went this way. I went to the go lights over there. I call them go lights. I never call them traffic lights. I go to the go lights because I follow Zig Ziglar's rule that those people who need to stop at the traffic lights are really dying. I never die because at the go lights, as Zig Ziglar calls it, I use that terminology, which is a thinking strategy. I use that abbreviation, which I say. You have to understand, no matter what, I go to the go lights because I never stop. I just do this. I went and plugged 100 around Brisbane. I used blue tack. I gave $2.50 for blue tack for something above me. I realized no matter what, you understand? I went and gave $10 for 100 photos to be plastered around Brisbane, and it's a postage. It's a photo, although it's a postage. You would realize that I have a nice bright screen. I just post it right in the middle of the bright screen, which is a white light, and you see my nice beautiful photo there. I seen this amazing grace today. I walked around, I see my images are missing. That people are grabbing them, and they're really inspired because what I'll do is there is this massive wall and my photo is just standing in the middle of it. You would be inspired to just see that. You then would see that somebody just went and grabbed it because they're so inspired by the photo that they have to touch it. They have to grab it. I promise you that today in Brisbane, although I plugged 100 photos of myself around Brisbane, I promise you they're all gone. I promise you somebody took it. I promise you somebody took it to go and promote me. Although am so inspired today, I just realized, no matter what, that you understand that you go and do that. You'll realize something beautiful. You'll realize that I was doing these ones. I was very weird in my photo. I realized 100 people took them. I have 100 validation points of being an awesome person. You need to be that type of person who goes around and promote yourself and you have to realize, and you're building branding awareness. You have to realize though that the smart thing about this and postage and these photos is I gave $10. Although I promoted myself to 1,000 and 10,000 or more people now. I never did it for the money. I did it for something above me. You have to understand though that when you paste your photo on a pole and people walking by, they look at your photo, you may get 20 looks. You may get 100 looks. You may get 2,000 looks before somebody grabs it. You understand? You don't know what's going on. You would see that in 100 places of Brisbane, for 1 hour, you have people walking by. People are going to see you. For each person that walks by and sees it, you understand that 10 people see 100 of my photos. That's already 1,000 people in 100 areas of Brisbane. You understand that now those photos are all gone. I realized no matter what, that I continue. I realized no matter what, I will go again to Brisbane Centre Mall. I will go and do the same thing in the same places. I have a nice Goldilocks view over here. I live some golden eggs. Those people who grab it and visit my Instagram will be inspired by my Instagram. I do it for free. I've got all to give. I've got nothing to take. I need you to understand that that's the way to be on the road. You have to understand though, that you do this every day. You understand that I invested 10 cents in the person who grabbed my photo. You have to understand though, that person is inspired though. You have to understand that it's worth it. You go inspire, you give some money to people to inspire them. I promise you that's a rich mentality. I promise you that's how to be on the road. You have to understand that being on the road is an entrepreneur mindset. You have to understand that I've picked up many skills I can teach you over the next few years and more. I realize no matter what, that I can keep going for a lifetime about this. I love music though. I will do music. I love Armin van Buuren and Dead Mouse in music, and Ali and Fila. I promise you these three, I love them. I, although, need to create more music. I love Eric Prydz and David Guetta. I love Hardwell. I love Kuhn. I love all these hardstyle DJs. You have to understand though that my time is never short. I have so much time because I have so much to give. You have to understand that is how to be on the road. You need to be a person who goes and gets inspired. I have the WWE, for example. I mean the World Wrestling Entertainment. I promise you they used to be called the World Wrestling Federation, which is WWF. I realize now it's WWE. I was watching that. I still watch it. I although said to myself, I will never watch it again because I have something to do. I realized no matter what, that I was entertained by it. I mean, the entertainers. I realized that I was having fun with it. I realized no matter what, that I moved on. I went and created the whole pay-per-view. I mean, I created the WrestleMania of a lifetime that they can never even refuse. I posted every single one of those wrestlers that I could mention at the top of my head without even looking at their roster. I promise you, although, that I made the best matches. I made the WrestleMania that is better than yesterday. I promise you, although they're inspired, I promise you that it will happen. You need to be that person. You need to go and give your thoughts and ideas to a big WrestleMania match or the match that you want to see or something, and you go create the whole pay-per-view and you say, as a fan, I would love to see this because I've been watching you for 13 years or more. You have to realize that I grew up watching wrestling. You have to realize though, I'm teaching you though, you go and add some value first. I put myself in the middle of the ring. I said, I must walk out with Eminem. I must have Eminem's Rap God theme song as a WrestleMania pay-per-view thing. I must have Eminem doing his Rapture album on stage while I walk out. I must have these 5 superstars versus these 5 superstars. I must have Brock Lesnar versus 5 I need Brock Lesnar versus 5 people in a handicap match. I need to have a Hell in a Cell in WrestleMania. I need D-Generation X back to take on Rated RKO. And I need Rated RKO to have another match on night against each other in a Hell in a Cell match. I realized no matter what, it's a beautiful pay-per-view. I made some twists. I made some beautiful fascinations. I, although, will realize that fascinations, and Jim Rohn talks about it, is everything. I mean, when you're fascinated, you're passionate. You'll grab an idea, you'll be inspired, you'll apply it, you'll teach it. You need to realize that that is the only way to be on the road. I can never be on the road doing nothing. I have to be on the road doing something. I mean, something that's really going to be kind. I realize that this video is kindness. I mean, you never gave any money for this. You gave me attention. You gave me your time. I respect your time. I give you my skills for your time. You have to understand, I never do it for you. I do it for something above you. You have to understand that I always say this. I say I never do it for money. I never do it for anything. I realize that when I do it for you, I really do it for God. I although mention God in it. I realize that I mention God because that's something above me. You have to understand, no matter what, that you go and be above yourself every single day. I mean, go and be superior to yourself only. I mean, never just look at people. You be in equality with people, although you lift them, you lift yourself, although you be superior to yourself. And I promise you that everything's going to be much better. You have to understand that those people who are following the crowd, I realized that I went and seen Snapchat today. I seen Snapchat, which is a social media in 2020. I realized that there are many puberty people and teenagers and violent people and also people who are just following the crowd and they're doing nothing. I mean, they're around the boys and they're smoking pot and they're doing drugs and they're just looking at the camera and they're not teaching anything and they're watching TV and drinking wine and partying and singing happy birthday and with their friends. You understand? I mean, in 10 years' time, those people are all going away in their separate ways. I need you to understand that when you're a lone wolf, such as me, I grew a beard because I need to be more of a man. I promise you, although, that many people can never do this. I, although, will say why. I look immature without one. I, although, will say that no matter what, I love a beard. I'm a man, I can have one. I realize no matter what, that when I model and I have a beard, I look like a man. I will say that. I realize when I have no beard, I look like a little pansy. I will say that. I look like a baby face. I now will just keep the beard for the rest of my life. I realize that's my plan. I, although never break my plans, I realize that's what I do. You have to understand, no matter what, I'm a person who's always growing. I may change at any moment. I realize though that at the moment, I'm always leaving my beard with me. I realize no matter what, I'm always rich or better. I now see that when you expose these type of goals, you can say what your goals are. You can realize that nobody can stop you to do anything. I mean, my forever goal is be sober. I mean, my forever goal is be vegan. I must stay vegan. I must be sober. I mean, my forever goal is just drink soy milk and mineral water and sparkling water. I mean, that's it. I mean, you may say, wow, how do you do that? I realize no matter what, that I discipline myself to do it. I can drink 2 soy milks a day, which is 60 grams of protein. I also can realize no matter what that I'm just growing. I'm growing in daily life because I let go. I realize I'm much more happier than ever now. I have more privacy, I have more peace, I have more quiet. I can now really focus on attention. I can now focus on branding awareness and just being in front of people. I mean, you have to understand that my Instagram is now inspirational. I only have one social media where I post all my stuff. I promise you, although, that you'll only ever find me in one place. I never care about Snapchat, I delete it. I never care about Facebook, I delete it. I never care about TikTok, I never care about these other social medias. I never post there. I post in other social medias just to promote myself for free. I never use them. I never use them. I never even use the almighty YouTube. You have to understand, YouTube is something big in today's world. You have to understand though that it's a video software. I mean, you can only post videos on it. I mean, you have to understand something better there. I have a Mega Drive, which is an online storage with one chip. You can find Danny Milovojevic. I mean, I have my Instagram as my landing page, which is the best landing page ever. I mean, you would go to Russell Brunson, you would find yourself a nice landing page, and it works. I promise you it works. I, although, have something better. I will regard Russell Brunson as one of my mentors. I will although say that no matter what, I have something better, which is for me. I realize no matter what, I do it for God. I do it for something bigger than me. I realize that no matter what, I have 3,700 photos of myself, and they're all beautiful and sexy, of my modeling career in Instagram. I promise you that you may have seen it. I now have I have a bio link. I have a link tree, which is the guy who created Linktree, and has all these links you can post about whatever you need. I mean, there was a limit of 3 links only. I mean, now it's unlimited, and you can just post your links. I mean, you're free to do business. I realize that when I do modeling, I realize that I look good. I look sexy. I realize that's attractive. I realize in my highlights, I have quotes. I just have quotes. I make it a 2-step Instagram. I realize that in my story, I only post quotes and branding photos. I never care about anything else. How will people find me? I realize no matter what, that people can find me in Instagram. I realize no matter what, that people can always make sure they can contact me on Instagram for anything. I mean, you need me at your public speaking gig? You have Instagram. You have Instagram. You can comment, you can relax. No matter what, I will, although, plan more. I may have a website extra. I may have a website extra and post it into my Instagram. I can always do that. I can do an extra website for that. You need to realize that you just realize I have one landing page. I have a mega storage. I can also post PDFs. I can post audios. I can post images. I can post text file. I can post any file on the planet, which is video, anything inside this mega storage. I mean, it goes into my phone. I promise you, before I sleep, it goes up. I take 5,000 photos today. I promise you, it's all up before I sleep. I don't know how YouTube's going to do that. I mean, where are you going to put those photos that you take in your phone? I promise you that YouTube can only store videos. Are you going to create yourself a slideshow? I promise you, although, that I have quotes as well. I mean, I have quotes. I mean, to make a quote video, I don't know. I don't need that. I have an ebook though. I mean, you can go in my mega storage online. You can see my quotes. You can just go like this. I mean, you can go at your own pace. I mean, that's so much more effective than having a video do it for you. You may be a slow reader and the video's already gone forward. You have to understand that YouTube is limited to just video. I have a mega storage online. I have a mega storage online where I post all my content. I mean, I go branding today. I have 900 photos today. I just upload it quickly. I upload 100 photos online. I realized once I upload 100 photos online, I recycled the 100 photos in my phone. I put in a recycle bin. I recycled the bin. I empty my bin. I realized I just released 150 megabytes of data. I mean, I can now gain another 150. I have a 120 gigabyte phone, which is a Samsung Galaxy 51. I got it for around 570. I realized no matter what that I have money. I have money because I have habits to support it. I realized no matter what that every single day I may eat up to $15. I mean, you have to understand that at the moment I eat at $7.50 a day. I may though shop for up to $15 a day. I realize no matter what that the food really lasts me for 2 days. I mean, I always have food. You have to understand that I calculate everything over time. I will teach you my calculations in another video about time management and how you can do that. You have to understand though that being on the road is an amazing aspect of life. You have no parents, you have no brothers, you have no sisters, you have nobody except yourself. I now have an advantage over those people who never believe in a higher power, because no matter what, I have a higher power looking out above me. I call him Jesus. I call Jesus is looking for me. I mean, Jesus has found me. I realize now I can always find Jesus now. I have Jesus and myself on the road. I mean, Jesus goes everywhere. I mean, Jesus goes everywhere with me. I'm never alone. I'm married to Jesus. I'm never single in life. I'm married. You have to understand though that many people are married to themselves. I'm married to Jesus. I mean, I go and follow Jesus. I mean, when you follow Jesus, you'll grow. I mean, Jesus only grew. I mean, Jesus was only the positive side of life. You have to understand that Jesus never sprouted negativity in life. I mean, how powerful is that? I mean, the guy was never negative. I mean, the guy never had sex. I mean, the guy never had kids. I mean, the guy would never look at a woman in a lustful way. I promise you the guy never masturbated. I promise you the guy never watched pornography. I promise you the guy never swore at anybody. You understand? I promise you the guy was only lifting. I promise you the biggest inspiration in my life is Jesus. You have to understand the guy lifts me so much. I need you to understand that on the road, you'll be an entrepreneur. You'll be a person who is lifting others. Because otherwise, you're in a 9-to-5 job. You'll be somewhere below in life. I never need you to be that. I need you to realize that you need to step out your comfort zone. I need you to realize that when I was 25, I need you to realize that I'm now much better. I need you to realize, although, that I never seen Australia. I was never the person to see Australia at 25. I now, because I have 28 years of age, I'm 28 or better, you have to realize no matter what that at 28, which is my current age, I have more going for me. You have to understand, it's really that you realize you be a person who is just foundational in getting away from everybody else so you can travel more and so you can do more. You have to realize that it's more about how are you going to interpret your life. You have to realize it's more about never be negative and be number one. I'm always number one. I'm always number one in life. You have to realize though that what changed is I left my father's house, who is my biological father. I call my actual father my heavenly father, or else anything else is biological. I promise you all though that I have that tactic. I just use that. I left my biological father. I went to live alone for 4 months. I went to live in Eastwood, which is an area which is an area around Ryde in Sydney. I lived there for 4 months. I promise you, on the 4th of July in 2019, I just left. I promise you the guy who I was giving rent to never knew about it. I never even knew that I was never going to return. I just went. I said, I never need to go back. I never care about going back. I just will go forward. I never care about going back. I mean, the guy is saying, you're late on your rent. I mean, the guy had me on a contract for 6 months. I left at 3 months. I mean, you guys have to realize that when you're renting, you may have a lease. You may have a contract that says you must be here and give the total amount of whatever for this period because you signed. You never be on a contract anymore. I realize I got away with it. Although I will say I got lucky. I'm lucky. I realized that because Jesus was here and he's still here. No matter what, you can see the Bible. You can understand though that we are all saved anyway and that we are lucky to even be alive. You would say so that no matter what, that all positivity in life is because of Jesus. I promise you that before Jesus came here it was all negative. I promise you Jesus is only the positive side. I will also say that I left. 4 days in, I said, I never need to go back to Sydney. I promise you, I just went. I have the government loan from that point on. I was getting paid. I was receiving money. I never get paid. I'm never getting paid today. I only receive money. I receive whatever. When I receive it, I never work for it. You understand? I received it. I believe they call it the government allowance. I don't care. I am free now. I went to Melbourne. I travelled. I realised no matter what, I learned financial barriers. I learned skills and tactics. I learned the hostels. I learned the area of Melbourne. I went MCG. I went over here. I went to watch 2AFL games. I went to all of these areas. I went to the casino. I was at the casino mostly. I realised no matter what, I got sick of the casino. I went over here. I went to this place. I was driving my scooter. I realised I was all over the place. I was also growing. I then said, I have to go to Adelaide now. I just travelled to Adelaide. I mean, I just went. I never even looked back. From the money I have, I managed to do my habits to make sure that I always have money. I realised no matter what, I was only broke on 3 occasions where I had to sleep on the street because of my finances. I mean, you understand, because of my numbers. I mean, because your numbers are really your habits. And if you never have better habits, I promise you, you always have worse numbers. Otherwise, no matter what, that when you never have the habits, you always be on the street, homeless. You understand? I was homeless in Sydney. I was homeless on 2 occasions for 2 nights because I left my biological dad's house. I had to sleep in the car. I received $400 from my biological mother. I realized with $400, I had to invest it. I had to invest the money. I realized no matter what, I went and got myself accommodation. I went to Meadowbank, which is an area close to Eastwood in West Ryde. I lived there for 3 weeks. I was smooth. I realized then that something happened in that household, that I realized the landlord wants everybody evicted. I realized I have to find another one. I asked the woman there, does she know anybody about where I can find myself a rental apartment? I realized that she said one in Eastwood that this guy is looking for $150 a week. I realized no matter what, I never do it for the money. I just went there. I realized I got a better deal. I was giving $260 a week over here. I went over there. I was giving $150 a week. I realized no matter what, I got in early because I asked really quickly over another guy, because another guy was really late to the occasion and he never knew about it. I just asked first and I got the deal, because if I never asked, I would have never got that. You have to understand. I asked. I said, do you understand that I never said it that way. I said it in a way that I just need to find myself a place to live. Are you able to find me somewhere and look for me? Because I was getting evicted, so I was entitled to ask for another way to live life in a better way. And no matter what, you have to be entitled to be in a better way. You have to understand that there's no shame in that. I then went to Eastwood. I stayed there for 4 months. I signed a nice lease contract. I realized that I have to go on and see Melbourne. I just realized that I have the money now. I had $1,300. I had $1,300. I just go to Melbourne. How do I get to Melbourne? I just go and bus it. I mean, I need a road trip. I sat in the bus. I said, Snapchatters, you're looking today at an entrepreneur. I mean, now it's time. I realized no matter, I had a vision saying, I must Snapchat while I go around the world. I realized I watched Arnold Schwarzenegger and he does it. I watch all these other people who are really famous and they do it. I need to do it too. I mean, I need to be saying, I am here in Melbourne, I'm loving life. I was doing it. I was doing it in Adelaide, I was doing it in Gold Coast, I was doing it in Sydney, I was doing it everywhere around Australia. I still have to go to Darwin and Alice Springs and some other areas. I will say that I got tired and sick of Snapchat. I said, Snapchat's never for me. I will say that Snapchat has helped me in some ways to get attention for free. I mean, I gave money. I realized no matter what order, I received the money for free. You will understand though that now, since I have a nice beautiful persona, I now accumulated all of this. I realized that Snapchat helped me with one big thing. I realized that Snapchat helped me do 1 minute videos. I mean, I made 500 episodes of 1 minute videos. I made them in Eastwood. You can go and see them in my motivational section and motivational series. I paced and plast together 3-hour videos, which are just in one room. I do 1 minute videos. Although I started to get more confident on the camera. I realized that in 1 year, I started to do 4-hour videos. I really started to see results. Although, ever since I was speaking, I see throughout the time, I realized that these people are going to say something negative about me because of my status and how big I am and my attention and all of this. I started to teach anyway. I realized some people are inspired, I realized some people are negative, I didn't care. I realized although I kept it up, I say, voila. You have to understand, I'm still doing it. I now do 1 hour videos, I do 2 hour videos, I can do Tony Robbins, I can do 8-hour seminars. You have to understand. I have energy, I have so much energy, I can run the world. I mean, I can run the whole world and never stop. You understand? I feel alive, I feel bliss, I feel entertainment, I feel everything because of my energy. I increased my energy. How? I became vegan. I lost the weight, I quit the drugs, I quit smoking cigarettes, which I was a smoking addict of cigarettes for 7 years. I was a caffeine addict for 5 years. I was drinking 5 coffees a day and 2 Red Bulls on top. I was a meat eater too. I was on the schizophrenic medication. I was pinned down by life. I mean, I was a product of the environment. I was going clubbing. I was chasing women while I was fat. I mean, people were rejecting me on all sides. I mean, they're saying, get lost. I mean, this guy's kicking me down. I realized this guy's asking to get drugs. I realized this guy's calling me to get drugs. I said no. I realized no matter what, that I started to learn at 22. I started to learn and I developed myself around Australia for 1 year. I now, since I've overlapped 25, I realize no matter what, I'm always number one. I realize now I'm just a better person because I've seen more of Australia. I've seen more of Australia and I've grew in each city. I can remember what happened in Hobart. I have a destination in Hobart where I was. I realized what I've done. I realized how much I grew there. I realized as soon as you move to Cairns from Hobart, which I did, I was able to because no matter what, I have money. I still have money. I went to Cairns. I realized that in Cairns I have a beautiful time. I realized although that in Cairns also have a beautiful memory. I also have a beautiful memory in Perth. I went to Cairns. I went to Townsville. I went to Magnetic Island. I have beautiful memories. I did it alone. I mean, no girlfriend. I mean, no support. I mean, nobody came with me. You have to understand that only Jesus Christ came with me. I realized that I and Jesus Christ. I mean, Jesus Christ and I. You have to understand though, that the feeling of being able to see most of Australia while all my peers are still working a 9-to-5 job and never even seen Australia. I mean, I've been away from a 9-to-5 job for 1 year and they're still working a 9-to-5 in that 1 year. I mean, they're stuck in one spot for 1 year and I've been traveling to Melbourne for 4 months. I was in Melbourne for 4 months. I mean, forget the weekend stuff. I mean, most people go for the weekend in Sydney. I promise you, no matter what, they go to Melbourne for 1 week, max. I was there for 4 months. I promise you, other people go for a weekend only. I mean, they go to the Gold Coast for weekends. I mean, just for 2 days. I mean, they talk about surfers paradise. I realized no matter what, that is beautiful over there. I went. I although see that they're just there for 2 days. I realize although that I love the hype. I love the hype, although you must realize that the hype, you need to back it up with words. I promise you those people are still working on the fight because they lack this. I mean, they never speak up. I mean, they're too pinned down to even say anything. I mean, when you need to do this, you need to learn. You need to learn. You need to grow. You need information to be able to do this. You need to grow and teach to be able to have 4-hour videos, such as I realize I can do more than that. I can do 8-hour seminars, although I have to teach more and more and more. I can do anything when you teach. I realize no matter what, you need to teach more so you can do anything. I realize no matter what, that it's a great feeling to be a person who is the first in my family to be a vegan. I mean, in the ancestors of my life, who are all in my bloodline, and cousins and related, and whatever. You have to understand, no matter what, I always have this term where I must put my I before and whatever, and before anything, because you need your I intent and the I factor. You can go and watch my video on how to I factor. You have to realize that I realize I'm the first vegan in my family in history. I mean, nobody else. I have quite the achievement. I feel better. I'm the only vegan guy out of 80,000 Serbian people in Australia. I mean, there's nobody bigger than me. You have to understand that no matter what, that you be the biggest. Although there is only Jesus who is bigger than everybody else. Or else no matter what, that when you compete with other people, you have lost. You've got nothing to compete with in life. You've got nothing to compete with. You, although, need to walk Jesus' road. I mean, when you look at Jesus, you find a person who walked the road. I mean, the guy is so big that they had to kill him. I mean, the guy did nothing to you and anybody. I mean, most people are never even open-minded about Jesus. I mean, I promise you that Jesus never hurt you. I don't care what you say. You can understand that truth. You will understand, though, that whatever happens, you have read from other people about Jesus and why you never believe in him and why you're never even open to believing in Jesus and what Jesus is. I promise you, although I follow Jesus, I promise you when I follow Jesus, I pick up God's glory. I promise you I find out that Jesus is God. You understand, though, that Jesus walked 40 days and 40 nights in the desert. I promise you no man in history or woman has done that. I promise you that it's been labeled in the Bible that Jesus raised his hand and the ocean became silent. I mean, the ocean was rough and moving and everything. I promise you Jesus raised his hand and everything just went silent. I promise you the rain stopped. I promise you the sun came up. You have to understand that is beautiful. You have to understand that Jesus walked on water. I mean, the disciples and 12 people seen it. I mean, you would understand. You would understand that in the Bible, you understand the story of Jesus Christ. You understand how to walk the road there. You understand no matter what, that you understand that because I have this success theory and I've been traveling Australia now for 1 year, I have more to go. I also have a better time now in winter because I've learned some strategies. I've learned I never go to Melbourne for winter. I never go to Melbourne or anywhere for winter because I stick to Queensland or Darwin. I may even go to Darwin because Darwin's the hottest place to be in winter in Australia. I mean, in winter, in Darwin is summer. I mean, it's 30 degrees every day. You have to understand that you go to Darwin. Although I've never been there, I will have to go and see it. I have winter now. I'll be going in a week's time. I mean, it's only the 5th of July right now. I mean, around the 12th of July, I'll be going. And it's mid-winter. I realize no matter what, it's going to be hot for me. I stayed there for a bit. I then go to Alice Springs. I have to go see Ayers Rock. I mean, I've never seen it. I have to go and see it. I then will complete Australia completely in terms of the big cities. I then have to go to Early Beach for the summer. I already planned my summer. I mean, I'll be in Early Beach. I'll be going to Mackay and I'll be going to the Great Barrier Reef. I mean, last summer I missed out on the Great Barrier Reef. Last summer I missed out on the Great Barrier Reef. I had to make some decisions. I mean, I had plenty of financial decisions to make. I realized although I made the better ones. I got my stuff stolen in Cairns. I mean, my passport, my identification, my bag, my technology, my MacBook Pro. I realized no matter what, that you understand. I realized that I can say it. I will say that my MacBook Pro now is my Windows one. I have a Windows one. I have a much better way to live life. Although I will say that in those examples, I could have used my eye more. I will say that I will say it again. I will say it again because I need to really orchestrate this. I have to better my communication skills. I in Cairns lost my identification. I lost my laptop. I lost my phone. I lost my other phone. I lost $9 that was in my wallet. I lost my bag. I lost my clothes. I lost my headphones and technology. I lost all my possessions. I mean, no matter what, I never lost my videos and my content that I did in my Mega Drive. I thank God. I understand that you understand what I just said. I have to put my I in 10 and my I factor in what I lost. I realize that I abbreviate my I more. When I do that, I can learn much better. I have more love for myself. I start every sentence with I. I now will say that in my life, because I lost stuff in Cairns, I really had stuff taken away from me. I mean, I never paid attention. Somebody took my bag and went. I mean, they took the whole bag. I realized no matter what, I was too frustrated about how they're going to open it. I realized the person took the whole bag. I mean, they're never going to open the zipper. I mean, they took the whole bag. I realized I put it under this light. And it was Djokovic versus Federer in the semi-final of Australian Open in 2020. I mean, I was supposed to go to the casino to watch it. I realized I didn't care about the semi-final. I realized that I can hear about it. I realized that I went to the pool to work out and become more emotionally stable. I was in Cairns for 2 months. I was in the pool every single day. In summer. I realized I had the best summer ever. I was just doing Tai Chi and working out every single day. Although, had an amazing time. I recovered. I've seen Townsville. I've seen all these areas. I realized that when you've gone to travel in the world, anywhere, you've seen the area. I promise you, you're more comfortable going there now because you're more familiar with it. I promise you, although when I was 25 and I'd never seen Australia, I was very scared. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I mean, for example, when you've never been anywhere in the world now, you go now, you can imagine how scary it is. You can imagine how scary it is. I mean, you understand that you may become broke, you may become a person on the street, you may be living on the street. Why? You need to build your habits. You need to better your habits. I, from 25, was never able to do it. Although, from 25, got myself to this moment. You understand that? You understand that it happens over time. You have to although grow. I promise you, in my 25th birthday, I was a meat eater. I was smoking cigarettes. I was a caffeine drinker. I was still learning and growing. I had my journal start. I started my journal at 25. I promise you, in the next 3 years, my life changed. My life changed. I promise you, I started my journal. My life changed completely. I started to travel everywhere. I started to go 1 year around Australia. I have a journal now, I can travel. I will understand, no matter what, that you must read my journal. I mean, you just read it. I may speak about trash. You understand that I never give trash. I never give trash in my journal. I explain my life completely to myself. I do it for myself, for Jesus Christ, or something bigger. You have to understand that whatever I say in my journal correlates with teaching something. I mean, I'll teach you something. You then will pick up how I journal and my skills and my writing techniques around how to have a better attitude and how to live life and how to travel. You also pick up skills along the way. You have to understand that it's an ebook. You go and read it. You read every single day one journal. Read 1 day at a time. You'll understand that you'll start to pick up slowly about how to plan and how to succeed, because in one video, you'll have to understand that I really detailed it in my journal on how to do it. Once you see the words, you can go and see a book, for example. You read the book eye to eye. You go and see the book with your eyes. You read physically. I wrote it that way. I mean, is that simple? I mean, you would see that the book will give you value. You would see that there is chapters. You would see there are new days. You would see that you would get some value. You can understand that my journal is a complete same thing as that book and as the Bible. Although the Bible is also wisdom. You have to understand that I teach you wisdom. I teach you the Bible as well in my journal. I mean, my whole journal and my whole life is the Bible. I mean, I live and breathe the Bible better than anybody else. I'll challenge anybody on that. I live and have better habits than the whole world right now. I don't care who you are. I have better habits. You have to understand though, that I'm the smartest man alive. I'm the smartest man alive. I believe it truly. You have to understand though, that you keep to it. You need to keep moving forward. You have to understand though, that you need proper examples of how to do a journal. I promise you, although I can explain it here, what you need to do, I need some of you to realize that some of you probably even need to do it physically and see physically. I promise you, although, that the physical length of when you read my journal with your eyes, I promise you, it's going to teach you exactly how to be on the road. I promise you, although, will you dedicate the time? Will you dedicate the time needed to read my journal? Because I post one every single day. I promise you, although, that it's just word to word. I mean, it's word for word. I mean, you write one word at a time. You talk about your life. You put your story on the 1st of January 2020. I promise you, you're still talking about your story on the 7th of July 2020. I promise you, you added something to your story in that day. I promise you, something happened and you remember something on that day and you said, I will also say this about my story. You would understand that your life is a journey. I mean, you can write anything in that journal. I mean, go and expose yourself totally and go and put it online for free. You understand that is why I look so good. I mean, that's why I can do everything I do. I expose my total self in my journal. I mean, it's all my secrets and everything about my life. I mean, I expose the porn stars and the fantasies I've had about women and everything around sex and women and drugs and what I've done and all the negativity and criminal work I've done and all of that. I mean, I expose all the negativity about me inside that journal. I realized that I expose more negativity about myself every day and all my secrets and all the secrecy I've ever kept and who I lusted for and who I masturbated to on camera and whatever. I mean, everything, I really gave it into that journal. I don't even care anymore. I realize the world sees it now. I realize I don't fucking care. I realize I fucking even name the prostitutes in there. I put the prostitutes there. I went to this brothel. I went to this brothel. I fucked this woman. I fucking put everything in there. I have no fucking secrets anymore. I need to be accepted fully. You understand? I promise you that alone is going to escalate you to shine bright like a diamond. I promise you, you may have heard Rihanna's song, Shine Bright Like a Diamond. I promise you, I shine bright like a diamond now. Because I've been able to expose myself and my porn, I realize I've exposed my porn and masturbation habits. And each and every fucking day that I may have a temptation or a fantasy about porn, I just had a fucking fantasy about the little girl. I mean, it was never even fucking me, it was my ego. I mean, my ego fucking needs to have a sex with a little baby. I realize it's an ego. I realize it's never me. You have to understand, I'll never do that. You have to understand though, that I expose it though. I expose my ego completely. I realize my ego is talking about orgies over here. I realize my ego is talking about going to this woman to fuck her in the mouth. I realize no matter what, I expose it all. You have to understand that you have no judgment about me. Because anything that's negative about me is my ego. I realize that it's never even me. You have to understand that I expose it though so that I can see it. I have to expose more of the mind, which is never my mind. I realize that my ego is never mine. I realize that once I die, I realize the ego is going to perish. Whereas the mind and this body is going to perish. I will be lifted with my soul because I'm the soul, which is Jesus. I mean, the soul is connected with the divine energy up there. You have to understand that it's pure essence of innocence. I came into this life as an innocent being and a child. I promise you I was raised around people and egotistical, negative people who taught me some pedophile and fucking pessimistic shit. You understand? I have nothing to do with that. I realize I have to fight it. I have to fight it. I have to fucking write it all down and expose it. I expose it. I then become better because I can fucking see it. I then fucking work on paper to fucking better my life. I realize I go on paper, I fucking write, I must fucking never do this. I must never fucking look at the child to fuck her. I fucking write it down. I say, what you never do? I must fucking never fuck a child. I fucking stay away from that. I write, what you never do? I must fucking never drink alcohol. I fucking write that. I mean, it's a discipline. I realize that 99% of the world today is drinking alcohol. I fucking just write one fucking sentence and I stay away from it. I realize that what you never do, and that paraphrase and that remark is the same as Thomas Edison with the light bulb. I mean, Thomas Edison stayed away from 1,000 ways to never do again because he found another way that would create a light bulb. I mean, there was 1,000 ways that will never work. I mean, those fucking 2 ways, which is, I'll never fucking drink alcohol, is one that I promise you, is one that never works. I promise you also, to fuck a child is another one that never works. I found fucking 2 ways to live life right there. I wrote fucking 100,000 of them and more in my life. You understand? I write in my journal what you never do. I realize I fucking write these point forms. I say escorts, fucking brothels. I say strippers. I say masturbation porn. I fucking stay away from it now. I mean, it's fucking that simple. I realize no matter what, you have to understand that your journal is really going to teach you how to be on the road. You have to understand those people who can go around Australia and see more of Australia are going to be more comfortable travelling. I mean, I'm more comfortable travelling Australia now than I ever was. Although, you have to understand, at first when I never was able to travel, I was fucking stuck in one house. I was stuck with my biological dad. I was fucking miserable. I was smoking cigarettes. I was doing caffeine. I had fucking drug addicts around me. I had poor people around me. I had fucking stupid behaviour around me. I had fucking people who never care about me either. I have to fucking surround myself with millionaires. I realized no matter what, I went online. I surrounded myself with 20 entrepreneurs. I mean, I can even name them. I realized no matter what, I already have. I realized that I surrounded myself with Zig Ziglar and Jim Rohn. I also have Gary Vaynerchuk and Tony Robbins. I have Les Brown. I talked to him today. I realized that's an amazing schedule. I realized no matter what, that Les Brown can see me. I'm also coaching him now 24/7 about how to lose weight. I mean, I sent him one PDF file. I promise you can follow it. I promise you just follow the instructions. I promise you that it's a coach for a lifetime. I never have to speak to him ever again. I promise you the guy can see totally where to go and what to do. You have to understand that the information is there. I mean, all the information is there. I mean, you just need to go there. You have to understand that my PDF can be better. I realize that some details I could have elaborated on. I realize also that the fucking structure is there. You have to understand that I named 10 foods. I mean, just go and eat that. I promise you lose weight. I will say, although, that I have many mentors. I surrounded myself with mentors. I can travel now. I promise you the past is fucking negative on me. I realized I fucking was a sexual beast. I realized that I was fucking going for women all over the fucking place. I was fucking going around. I realized I was fucking very tempted because I fucking grew up around negative people and those people who are fucking negative, who then fucking went around gossiping about me that I was negative. I realized they're fucking negative. I realized they're the ones who fucking made me negative. I was fucking around them. I realized that negative people will fucking promote you negatively because you fucking grew up against them. I mean, you never grew up against them. I realized that negative people will promote you negatively because you grew up. I realized because you grew up with them. I have to say that sentence again. I realized that negativity will promote you in a negative manner because you grew up with negativity. You have to understand that you never repeat the same words twice. You never repeat anything twice. You just move on. You have to understand you start elaborating something in a different fashion, you'll learn more as you go along. I'm so inspired today. I can travel. I have money. I can afford $38 bedroom. I have a nice beautiful bedroom over here. I have a one bedroom. I mean, there's no fucking hostel here. I mean, I have a fucking room. I have an air condition. I have a beautiful room. I have a $38 a night. I gave an extra $4 for the air condition. I mean, I give $41 a night for a beautiful room. I don't care. I can afford it. I promise you, many people can never do that. I can travel and fucking be in an apartment of $41 and fucking I can invite a woman now. I can invite a woman. I mean, I can just call an escort and she can come over here. I mean, I can do it. I can do it right now. I just never fucking need to because they're fucking vacuums, those women. I mean, they fucking just grab your money and go. I mean, they'll say, one time come. I mean, fuck you. You have to understand that. You understand? You need a woman who will fucking love you for whatever time you gave her. I realize that no matter what, I've given a woman for 1 hour. I realize that I come in 15 minutes. I realize no matter what, that she says you go now. I realize that I gave you for fucking 1 hour. You have to understand that she'll call the police. You have to understand that I liberate this. I mean, I liberate this. I fucking breathe this. You have to understand, I write everything in my journal about this. I can speak about it now. I've got no shame about it. You understand? I realize that Asian woman, I realize one time come. I understand what one time come is. I understand. I understand. I have to be a porn star now. I have to go for hours and hours to never come so that I can be with her. I realize that no matter what, it's never worked for me at the moment because I have something better to do. I'm more productive. I'm never thinking about escorts. I'm never thinking about women and brothels. I'm thinking about attention now. I mean, I'm never even thinking. I never think. I just go and paste my face in front of people more and more. I realize that in Snapchat now, because there is only a limit of 1,500 people. I mean, I sent photos as much as I could. I realize that when you keep spamming in the same photo and keep talking about yourself, I mean, they never asked you. I realize that the first time you do it the first time. They just have to see the first time. I mean, go and spam everybody the first time. I mean, I don't care. You spam everybody the first time, I promise you, you'll be lifted. I promise you keep doing it. I promise you start becoming negative. I mean, you start getting random comments and negativity. I mean, you go to a new person, you just show yourself, you write something. You go to a new person, you go where the new is. I promise you go to new people. I promise you go to a new mentality. I promise you go to a new life. I promise you go to a new country. I promise you go live a new way. I promise you go and do something a new way now. I promise you a new way is better than the old way. I need you to be new. I need you to wear new clothes. I need you to have a new hairstyle. I need you to have new socks. I need you to have a new style. I need you to have a new car. I need you to have fucking something new in life. I need you to be new all the time. I need you to fucking be new. I need you to be modern. I mean, I need you to be fucking in fashion. I have fucking fashion here. I sleep in this jumper now. I realize I still go and take photos with this jumper. I bought the jumper for $30. I don't care. I realize no matter what, it's a number. I realize that I look sexy in it. I realize although I sleep in it now, I will throw it away very soon. I have to go anyway, Darwin. I have fucking a jacket. I have to throw that as well. I have all these clothes. I have to throw them away. I have to throw them away. I go and I have to brand myself with new clothes. I have money. I never charge anybody for my work. You have to understand that is part of entrepreneurship. You have to go and provide a service to everybody. You have to realize that I have people sleeping around here. I mean, they're walking around here. I realize no matter what though, that I'm private. I have a nice beautiful bedroom over here in Brisbane. I was getting $28 a night in Nomads, Brisbane. I came here to the Banana Backpackers in Brisbane. I realize no matter what, I have a beautiful time over here. I now am just a person who's using the Grant Cardone theory. I mean, you have money, I will fucking use it. I mean, he says, use your fucking money. I mean, go and fucking get the money and fucking put it into accommodation or some shit. I mean, never fucking just leave it in the bank. I mean, if you have $50,000 in your bank, I mean, never fucking sleep in a hostel with other people. I mean, go and fucking get yourself an accommodation on your own. I mean, go and use up the money. I mean, use it up. I mean, before you die, I fucking need you just to give you wisdom in life. I don't even fucking need you to give possessions of this world. I don't fucking care about the money. I need you to go and coach people. I promise you, the more you coach, I need you to leave that behind. I promise you, that is glory. I promise you, that is more than fucking working for money and that money that people work for. You understand? I promise you that plastic note can never define this video. I never fucking priced it in the first place. You have to understand that I went online because I seen that Jeff Bezos has this theory and law where he states, you placed a book on my site, you are now going to be pedigreed with me for 7 years because you can never take it off for 7 years. I promise you he has that law. I'll have to wait. I never wait for anything. I went and got my book and I posted it online for free. I understand that. I promise you he's making money off my book. I never care. Otherwise, no matter what, that you understand that I never care. I now will promote myself for free. I'll go and live my life. I have everything I ever need in life. I now am increasing my span in terms of my attention span. I always need more. I'm always more selfish, although I'm selfish in a compassionate way. I'm selfish to do more. I'm selfish to love more and give more. I never expect anything in return. And you have to understand, you need to live in a way that is really going to be beneficial and inspiring for you to really keep going. I realize now I can have fun. I can lead a woman. I can lead a man. I never chase women. I never chase anybody. I realize that when I chase people, I just fucking go in front of their face. I go in front of, I realize you see me now, I'll fuck off now. I chase people to fucking just make sure that they see me first. I realize I fucking go now. I never fucking care about you. I realize also that you understand that I do care. I just talk in a manner that I never fucking put you above me. I never fucking do everything for you and neglect me. I realize I do it for myself more. I realize when I do it for myself more, I'll get myself in front of your face. I'll say, you can get educated by me. I have to go this way now. I'll say goodbye. I realize no matter what, it's up to you. I realize no matter what, I never force you. I realize when it's about you, I'll fucking force you to do everything. I mean, you have to understand that I never do that. I realize that those people who fucking force you to do anything in life, I realize that they are too into you than into themselves. You need to be more into yourself and let go of other people. I mean, never try to force anybody to do anything. I realize that those people who are trying to force people to have sex and go with them and are really pushing them in terms of forcing. I realize that harassing. I realize that it's an harassment. I realize when you're talking about having sex with another person and you're fucking messaging them over and over and they're fucking never replying, you're harassing them. You have to understand that communication is a fucking harassment. I mean, as soon as you speak one word, you're fucking harassing the person. Realize although that you understand though, you never get a reply, you fucking never comment toward them ever again. You fucking move on. I realize that you must be a person who is always speaking with new individuals and people. I mean, you need to go somewhere new. You need to be a new age person now. I mean, never speak to the crowd that you fucking grew up with now. I mean, just go somewhere new. I promise you it's that easy. I promise you it's that easy. I, although, do go back in the past to just make sure that those people who never have me in mind, I realize I just fucking go into their face now so they can see my Instagram and my success now because I'm different now. I realize I need to inspire them. So I fucking go into the past to find one fucking person who's not, to find one fucking person who's not aware of me. Otherwise, I fucking find you, I fucking send you a message. I'll say, you look beautiful. You look like you have big eyes. Otherwise, I'll just say anything just so that they see me. I don't care about them. You have to understand, I never care about them because I care about myself more. Although when I care about myself more, I give them more than me having to care about them and neglect me. You have to understand that I care about them, I just care about myself more. You have to understand, when I care about myself more, I can give them more love. I never need you to be offended when I say I never fucking care about people. I care about myself more than people. I then do care about people because I care about myself. You have to understand that those people who are really talented and can really be in a spotlight are really going to go and search for it. I went today into Brisbane and I got blue tack. I got blue tack, and the first time I've fucking done it. I got a photo. You see a photo size. I fucking put the blue tack in the middle of the photo. I fucking posted on the pole. I went to Go Lights. I have 4 poles. I fucking post this side and the other side. I realized that people are coming from both sides. I fucking go where the poles are. I go where the bus stations are. I go where there is a fucking nice pole somewhere where people will fucking just walk by. I realize I walk around Brisbane, I realize my fucking photos are gone. I realize someone fucking stole it. I realize that I first started thinking, I realized I thought there may be somebody who took the photo and threw it in the bin. I realized although that when they do that, I realized they're really negative people. I never cared. I don't fucking care. I'll keep giving money. I realized that people are fucking just taking my photo so they can fucking go and promote me. I realized that it's a nice, beautiful gesture. That it's working. I mean, when you go and do that, you have a tremendous time. I realized that Jean-Claude Van Damme does that. I mean, he was a person who, at around 20s, was a person going around and doing postage everywhere. And he became big like that. I realized no matter what, I do the same now. I realized I have to become bigger so I can help more people. I realized that is my life. I realized that I can never be conformed to be the crowd and be a nobody. I mean, you have to understand that the crowd is a somebody to somebody. You have to understand. I also realized that the crowd is never in the spotlight. I mean, they're never in the fucking spotlight. You have to understand that in order to lift above the crowd, you need to be fucking seen more than the crowd. I mean, that's what I do. I mean, because of that, I gain more opportunities. I gain more public speaking gigs. I can be in front of crowds. I can be with my mentors. I can be traveling the world as an entrepreneur. I realize I never do it for the money. I never do it for the money. I realize it's more attention. I realize that I'm more popular. I realize that women are running after me. I realize that paparazzi is running after me. I realize I fucking have everybody running after me because I'm so fucking smart in life. I just fucking do it that way. I don't fucking care about the money. I don't really care about this. I have money. I have fucking health. I have Jesus. I have Jesus because most people will never have Jesus. I promise you, most people are going the other way. I promise you, Jesus has no drugs in his life. I promise you, most people are doing drugs. I don't fucking care. I promise you, it's your life. I promise you, although, that you understand this message. You go and promote yourself the most. You realize that when you're on the road, you're going to be alone. I need you to start growing and have a journal because that's the only one that really got me going. I realized that everything else is fucking bullshit. I realized that 3 o'clock in the morning, I may never be available to do this video because I have fucking fallen tired. Although, that 3 o'clock in the morning, I can fucking keep going in the night time for another 3 hours just writing. I mean, I can fucking keep going. I can just fucking teach everything on video inside a fucking writing schedule. I just fucking write all day long. I now market all day long. I mean, I just go where the free road is. I fucking go and post over here. I now am thinking of more ways. I'm not thinking. I just go and do more ways. I look for more ideas. I'm always looking for more ideas. I realize that what you focus on will escalate. You understand? I realize that my marketing skills are escalating. I mean, I'm growing. I can see it. You have to understand that. You just have to understand that how much happiness, you understand how much happiness you would have to just go and get blue tack in a photo of yourself and go and fucking post it everywhere. Although most people can never fucking do that because they got no skills. I have fucking skills. I fucking posted 3,700 fucking photos of myself on Instagram, which are fucking modeling photos. I mean, a model. I mean, you'll fucking go and fucking catwalk. I mean, I'll fucking do the lion walk. You understand? In front of people on the red carpet. I mean, I'll fucking show my body and everything. I mean, I just have those photos. I have fucking something to show for it. I have fucking something to show for it. I also have in my link, I have so much educational videos. I fucking have education and self-education and about my life and my journal and everything. I realized that is what built the courage for me to go and do the blue tack with the fucking photo around Brisbane. I realize I can fucking do it everywhere now. I can do it every single day in Brisbane now. I can do it in the same spots. I realize that the photos will be gone. I realize I do 100 photos a day now. I realize I give $10 a day for advertising in real life. I fucking go around. I'll go around Brisbane. I'll go around Australia. I was listening today to Armin van Buuren and his Phone Down track. I realize no matter what, I love that song. You need to be a person who's really advertising yourself. Although many people never have the courage because they've never fucking taught anything. Whereas they've never fucking done anything to support other people in a way that they can inspire them. You understand? Because most people, when you go on Snapchat, you'll fucking find them smoking pot. Or I don't fucking know what that is. I mean, it's fucking helping no one. I mean, it's fucking helping nobody. I mean, there's no such thing as no one in that situation. I mean, no one is for any one person. I mean, you're never for any one person, you're for something above yourself. You have to understand. You go for something bigger. You have to understand that is a philosophy. You have to understand that is philosophic. You understand? You need to be a philosophy type of person. I realize that a person who's really philosophical, I realize that a person who's really a philosophy will realize that they are a person of value. You gain value from people in information. You then grab that information, you teach it, you become it, you live it. I mean, when a person says, you quit alcohol for all these fucking reasons they give you, or that she gave you, you may have been inspired by that. I mean, you see his lifestyle, you see how he lived, you may say, I fucking hate alcohol, I'll fucking grab this information, I'll go teach it now. I mean, it's your fucking information now. I mean, as soon as you become sober and you never drink alcohol again, I promise you, now you're a teacher of stay away from alcohol. I mean, go and fucking make a business around it. How to get away from, I realize now you have to realize to say how to get away, you say how to get away from alcohol, how to be off alcohol, how to be a person who never needs alcohol, how to really make a business without alcohol. I mean, just go fucking make 100 topics on it. I mean, the more topics you make, you realize you get sick of fucking talking about alcohol. You need to fucking go talk about cigarettes now. You understand? I mean, you get it. You get it. You just fucking, you need to build a persona. You need to build your communication skills. I can only fucking go and do that because I have fucking built the confidence and courage throughout the years, because I've fucking read for 5-6 years. I've followed mentors for 5-6 years. I've fucking done these videos for 3 years now. I realize that I've escalated really the past year. I fucking traveled for 1 year. I mean, I've never fucking done that in my life prior. I've done it when I was a small kid. I mean, I'm a baby now. I'm younger than ever. I never confused myself because I was a small kid before, although I'm a baby now. I realized that I'm getting younger. I'm not getting older. I realized that you may have been shorter in life before. I realized that you may have grown taller. I promise you, you are now younger than before. You need to live that type of lifestyle. I realize that's how I live. You have to realize that as you become 100 years of age, you're younger than ever. I mean, you're younger. You're more vibrant. You're still youthful. You're just in a more mature body. You have to understand that most people are becoming more mature and they're feeling older. I mean, they're trying to act 60 years of age when they're 40. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I was doing that at 18. I was trying to fucking be 28. I realize how I look at 28 now. I was at 18, I fucking look nothing like this. I promise you that you have to understand what changed. You have to understand that wisdom changed. I mean, I fucking have more awareness now. I mean, go fucking do awareness work in the world. I promise you, I promise you, the single one thing you need to be in life is an awareness coach about something. I mean, go and bring the fucking awareness in life. I mean, you love mental health. I promise you, you go and fucking bring mental health awareness to everybody. I mean, go and fucking prevent suicide and fucking crime and fucking educate people about drugs and alcohol and fucking violence and suicide and deaths and fucking anything to do with mental health and confidence. You would understand. You go and be those coaches. You then will fucking become a life coach from that. I fucking expanded into a life coach. I talk about fucking everything now. I love it. I love my job because I heard Tony Robbins say, I fucking get to speak about everything. I fucking have a broad mind. I fucking make everything my business now. I fucking love that. I make fucking cars my business. I fucking never care about my cars. I don't fucking care about cars anymore. I realize that fucking cars is never my business anymore. I realize although I'll fucking teach you about cars, I realize that fucking car will take you nowhere in life. I promise you although that you need it. You need it because you fucking need to invest in it because you have Uber. You would understand that you need a fucking limo driver to drive you around and you never need to drive yourself around. You understand? You although will realize that it's much better for you to grow anyway. You would understand that you just become better. Realize that no matter what, that other fucking people are driving me anyway, I may as well fucking have a limo driver. I never fucking love to drive anyway. You understand? I never love to drive. I drive, I can drive. I fucking just never need to. I love other people driving me. I love to fucking write and do my journaling and fucking plan ahead while other people drive me. I mean, I can fucking do far more work, I can do far more work with other fucking people driving me than me having to fucking drive and talk to people while I drive. I don't fucking care about that. I realize I may be swearing fucking in all these words. I realize no matter what that it's never really offensive. I'm not being offensive. I'm not trying to be offensive. I realize I'm just giving you the Scarface. I'm giving you the Scarface persona right now. You have to understand that I'm not Scarface either. You have to understand though that I just love to abbreviate more fucking in my life. I realize Tony Yugoslav fucking all the time. I understand that guy is always, I fucking want my money, fucking. I have more than money. I have more money than ever. You have to understand though that you watch out and you never abbreviate other people's words because they become you. You have to understand when you want money, you never get it. You have to understand when you have money, you always get it. How? You improve your habits. You go on the road, you travel on your own, you have freedom, you realize you never look at the past, you go in the new direction, you set the sail into a new and better direction, as Jim Rohn says. You have to realize that's the key. You have to realize you go and live your life in a better way and improve. And journal and just be an entrepreneur. I realize it's that easy for you to really escalate forward and do something incredible. I realize that in this video, I've learned so much about myself and I've talked about my story here in some aspect because I went to Brisbane and I've done that. I realize that it's on video now. I realize that it's an incredible story. I realize although that I've overcome my challenges and I'm able to talk about it, which is amazing. You guys have to realize that I will although see you guys in the next video. I hope that you guys share this message and follow me on Instagram, please. I realize that now I have to ask people to follow me too. I have to ask people to follow me because when I ask, show me around, I realize they'll just show me around. I realize they'll never follow me. I realize they'll never follow me then. I realize I have to fucking say, you guys have to follow me. You have to subscribe also. I mean, you have to fucking ring the fucking bell too to make sure that every time I fucking post, you can fucking see my posts. Or else you have to fucking make them aware of that. You ask first. You say, you must do all this, you fucking didn't deserve it. I promise you, although when you say, you must share me with 100 people, you'll just deserve that. I promise you, although they'll never follow you. I promise you, although that they'll never follow you because you never said it. You have to ask first. You say, I need you guys to follow me. I need you guys to share me around with 100 people or more. I need you guys to realize that you go and see my Instagram. I need you to click my bio link. I need you then to go into my bio link and check all my stuff out and share it. I then need you to realize that you go and download all my content. I need you then to go and read it. I then need you to go and teach it. Otherwise you have to explain all that. You have to. I promise you, otherwise that people will never fucking do it. Because you never made them aware of it. You need to speak it out. You need to call the action. I mean, you have to call the action of, you must follow me. You must share me with 10 people or more. You must realize you go into my bio link. You must share my content around inside my bio link. You must call me when you need help. You just go and realize you can coach people on the go as well. You can do anything in life. You just have to make them aware of it. You have to go and plaster your face in front of them and you have to really practice marketing. I promise you now that since I have this lifestyle and I've been traveling for 1 year now, I promise you it's time to get fame. I promise you I'm ready to have fame and fortune because I can do it. I can be in the spotlight and most people never can. Why? Because you have to realize because they have no courage and confidence and they've never taught anything to really lift up the crowd. I promise you that it's because they're negative. I promise you it's because they're too negative. I promise you it's because they're too into the crowd rather than those people who are really successful. I mean, you can see Oprah Winfrey. You can see she's really a big talker. I mean, she'll go talk. I mean, she'll talk about everything in front of people. I realize that she has that courage. I realize that she gives something. I realize that she gives ideas. I realize although that her health is going downhill. I realize no matter what that she's always had some problems with health. I realize although that she's a woman of credibility. I mean, the woman may be that. I realize although that she's much better than yesterday. I promise you, in some area of life, I promise you that she's doing better. I promise you that many women can never even fucking do that. I promise you many women can even fucking, I promise you that many women can never even fucking create a TV show such as Oprah Winfrey's. I promise you that nobody else has ever done that except for Ellen DeGeneres. I promise you that she has. I promise you also that they are there at the top of the woman chain in terms of success in their category. And there's also Kim Kardashians who create the reality TV shows. And also you have to understand that those TV shows that you just see there with Kim Kardashian and Oprah Winfrey and Ellen DeGeneres, I promise you they're only successful because many people are watching for free on their television sets and doing nothing. I mean, they're just into drama. I mean, Oprah Winfrey, although, and Ellen DeGeneres, you have to realize that they are more going to entertain you and may give you some knowledge. You understand? I promise you that Kim Kardashian will give you some knowledge too. I promise you, although it's really, I mean, it's TV. I mean, you're just watching them. You need to go and do something more than that. You have to realize that you need to stay away from TV shows. I never watch those TV shows. I watch Oprah Winfrey, although, and her ideas, and I realize that I get the ideas. I get what they're doing. I realize although you need to be a better person in terms of life and never just sit on the couch. I realize never just sit on the couch waiting for Oprah Winfrey show. I mean, you have to understand that there is something better to do. You understand? You have to realize that TV shows will get you nowhere. You have to realize that many people are watching those TV shows because they've got nothing to do. You have to realize that reality TV shows skyrocket in terms of popularity because many people are negative. I mean, those TV shows are just talking about random people and celebrities and teaching you something, although never enough. You need to go and have more education than that. You understand? You need to do more than that. I just say that. I realize that you grab inspiration from them, that they've done all that. You although realize that you go and coach yourself how to do that. You be in the spotlight. I mean, you go and do that. I mean, you stop watching them. You fucking go and watch them. You go and watch them. You go and watch them. Although you go and do more than them. You go and do more than that. I mean, you go and look better than them. I mean, you go and feed better knowledge and material and whatever in terms of life, in terms of wisdom. I mean, I never put them down. I realize they are inspirational. I realize although that you can always do better. You can always do better than them. You understand? I can always do better than them. I realize that this is real education. I realize that this will teach you and 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 teach you about life. I realize although Oprah and them would go into something else that will teach you about something else about life, although you will understand though that you go and find something that's really entrepreneurial that's going to teach you the skills to go and do that. I promise you on the show that she may mention something, although never enough. You need more knowledge. You go grab yourself more knowledge, I promise you that you will become more positive. I although say no matter what that in this video, that you go and share my video with many people. I realize no matter what that I give you a goal, I realize that you go and share it with 10 people or more. You also make sure that you follow me on Instagram and get other people to follow me. I realize no matter what that you go grab 10 people to follow me too. I realize also that you just be a happier person and that you live free. I mean, go and travel and have a journal and do everything I've said in this video. I mean, go and do what I said in this video because I do it. You understand? I fucking do it. I never fucking preach it without doing it. I realize that otherwise I'd be a hypocrite. I can imagine a person saying something for you to do and they're never doing it. I mean, they're fucking liars. I mean, I fucking lift up and I talk about it and I do it. You understand? I never know anything. You never know anything in life. You have to keep growing. You have to keep inspiring. You have to keep being a better person. I promise you that is the foundation of life. You have to go do it. You have to figure out better skills and ideas. You have to realize no matter what that the road is worth it. I promise you, I went to Australia. I went around Australia for 1 year. I promise you, it's an amazing journey. I promise you, although I'm still going. I mean, I'm 28. I realize no matter what, I'm better than 28. I never label myself as a number. I'm still much better than yesterday. Otherwise, I can only do that when I continue to teach. I need to write my journal. I need to feed myself more knowledge. I feed myself more knowledge, and I read 3 hours a day while I market. I mean, I go and fucking plaster my face in front of people online who are new and totally new. I may get 3,000 views a day, and I also go today over there. I may get 10,000 views a day while I also read and do it at the same time. I mean, I go and fucking do the billboards and the fucking postage everywhere while I read. I mean, I'm doing it while I read. I mean, I'm doing marketing while I read. I mean, I'm showering while I read. I'm fucking walking somewhere while I read. I'm in the Uber while I read. I'm fucking doing everything while I read and listen to music. I mean, I'm always educating myself. I'm always fucking shining in life. You need to multitask, although you need to make sure that your multitasking is fucking working. I mean, I realize you can never be here in fucking Sydney at the same time. I realize although that you can get a fucking video call, you can call someone in Sydney and be with them like that. I realize although that multitasking in a way that I can fucking listen to alpha fucking wavelengths right now while I do this video. I mean, it works. I mean, I can fucking put the theta brainwave. I realize that it relaxes me while I do my videos. I can also listen to music while I market. I can read something while I market. I realize in that type of multitasking way, you can do it. I realize you can do it. You understand? I realize that you can never watch 2 fucking channels at the same time. You can understand that. You can understand though that you can watch 2 channels, although you can do it with YouTube. You can read one type of scenario that's going on in a podcast, although your other channel is when you're writing in your journal and you're taking notes. I mean, you're doing 2 things at once, and you're really, really doing it in one. You're really you're putting a submission in to realize that you're learning from that in which you're learning from, and you're writing as well about your life and about what's being said. I mean, you're multitasking at the same time. You have to understand that you can even watch. You can watch and you can write about it. You understand? You're multitasking in that way. You're just never watching fucking 2 screens at the same time. I mean, you have to understand that it has nothing to do with anything. You go and watch 1 screen only, and you write. You can watch a cinema movie and you can write something about it. You can take some notes about it. You understand? I realize that you'll learn something. You guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll teach you guys so much more. I realize there is so much more videos and knowledge coming into my life because I'm fucking reading more. I'm always reading more. I realize that no matter what, I have to realize that I'm never negative. I'm not a negative person. I'm just doing more. I realize that is the only way to be. You need to realize that you just watch out for those words though. You watch out for those words and you make sure that you make sense though. I realize that you can always say fucking when you are making sense. I realize that when you're never making sense, you sound fucking ridiculous. You have to understand. You guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys in the next video.